Midfielder number 15, Tyler Packer. And forward number 29, Stefano Pino. Birmingham Legion FC is led by head coach Tommy Zone.
I'm really excited because I literally woke up to the thing and I go, and I plug it in and there was nothing.
It's your city, make it your club. Become a 2024 season member today. Membership includes early access to all BJC hosted events, exclusive player experiences, and more. To join, visit the sales table. League FC fans, be sure to stop by the League FC merchandise location to check out the all-new Hubble gear today. Join us on Sunday, June 9th, our next match against the Indy 11 at 6 p.m. Birmingham Legion FC wants to give a special thanks to its program partners. Is proud to announce its Learning with Legion summer reading program. Running from now through August, kids in kindergarten through 5th grade can earn free tickets and other rewards just by reading books. Send in submissions through our website and our program partner locations. For more information, please visit the fan activation table right outside of the club section. All right, Birmingham, we're excited for a great game tonight as we get you set and psyched. You are the best fans of anywhere, anytime, anywhere, so make sure you get out your cell phone if you don't already have it in your hand. You can be like the cool kids, hanging out in the AT&T seat upgrade. Just make sure all of your social media, all the platforms, everything that you're posting tonight, use hashtag Legion AT&T upgrade, and you can actually be in one of these great seats that we actually just freshly washed for you, so it's not like made of the mist. So you're in a fresh seat, you're looking good, best view in the house. Also, of course, thanks to our friends at AT&T and our good friends at Vulcan Materials. We want to honor tonight you, if you have ever served or are currently serving in the military. Will you please stand at this time so we can acknowledge you? Birmingham, make some noise!
Tonight, playoff foes from a year ago square off for the first time in 2024. Birmingham Legion made it to the Eastern Conference semifinals last year, but this Charleston Battery crew ended their season en route to the USL Cup final. Can the Legion slow down the only Eastern Conference unbeaten? Let's find out. USL Championship Soccer is next. Good evening from Birmingham, Alabama, and off in the distance, Protective Stadium, and welcome to our coverage of the USL Championship on CBS Sports Colosso Network, featuring Birmingham Legion taking on the Charleston Battery. Up here in our press box here at Protective Stadium. Glad to have you with us for this midweek matchup. Alongside Morgan Copes, I'm Blake Gardner. And Morgan, Birmingham Legion coming off one of their best games, but tonight they have the tough, unenviable task of trying to slow down this Charleston club.
That's right, and Charleston have been on fire so far this year. As you've already said, they're the only unbeaten on the Eastern Conference thus far. This is Legion FC's 4th game in 12 days. It's going to be a tall task, but it's definitely one that I think they're up to.
Well, at least they're back home in front of this home crowd. Although Charleston last year got the job done here in Protective Stadium, they've added firepower since then. Nick Marcanic has been on a torrid start to start 2024.
He absolutely has. He leads the league with 12 goals. He's also added 3 assists. He's just doing things right. We talked to Coach Pierman prior to the game about his preparation. He said he just does the details well. He defends well, he gets after the ball, tries to find it and create chances for himself. He's going to be a player that Legion FC are going to have to neutralize tonight if they're going to get a result.
Well, speaking of the Legion, so they go, so Enzo Martinez goes, and vice versa.
Absolutely. Enzo with the game winner this weekend against Tampa. He had a big game. They didn't have a ton of chances, but when Enzo had the chance, he put it away. He leads this team in goals. He is the engine. He is the Energizer Bunny that makes this team run. He's going to have to play a large part in Legion FC's efforts to go out and get 3 points tonight at home.
We'll see if Martinez and the Legion come out firing here this evening as we work our way closer and closer to kickoff here in Birmingham. When we come back, we'll take a look at the starting 11s, plus the first half between Birmingham Legion and Charleston Battery, right after this.
Hey, I'm Chelsea, and a little thing I like about the Chick-fil-A Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is I think it's just a perfect combination of ingredients. The pepper jack cheese and that spiciness of the sandwich. It's the right type of spice and the right amount of spice. It's crunchy on the outside, but then really tender on the inside. And then, obviously, the pickles on the bottom are iconic. There are too many things I like about it. I don't know if I can finish the thought.
Real customer paid for their testimonial.
I need to try it first.
Season tickets on sale now.
Welcome back to Birmingham and our coverage of Birmingham Legion taking on Charleston Battery tonight. Time to look at each side's starting 11s, brought to you by Budget. And Morgan, let's start first with the visitors from Charleston. No changes from the lineup that was in their last league matchup.
Sure, and if it's not broken, don't fix it. We talked about Marcanic earlier. He's got a goal every 69 minutes so far this year. Don't forget about Doc Myers up front. He's got 6 goals and an assist, and then you've got a guy like Aaron Malloy who can supply anything from anywhere. For them, it's going to be tough to stop them tonight.
On the other side for Tom Zone and Birmingham Legion FC, a couple of tweaks from the lineup that beat Tampa Bay last weekend.
Certainly, you got fresh legs from Pasher and Patterson coming in. Patterson, it's a big game from him. Charleston, obviously, his former team went to the final with them last year. They'll be tasked with deputizing Marcanic tonight and slowing him down or neutralizing him as best he can.
Now that we've got to look at each side starting 11s, let's get a look at our officials tonight, led by Jeremy Shearer. The Connecticut native gets his 6th USL Championship contest this year. He did Charleston's game against North Carolina back on opening weekend and did 10 USL Championship games, plus a playoff game Charleston played in a season ago as well. Ben Pierman, the head coach of Charleston, the 38-year-old and former Detroit City head coach and Memphis head coach. What a job he has done there on the water in South Carolina. On the other side, there is Birmingham head coach Tom Sohn, now in his 6th season with Birmingham Legion FC. 5 prior seasons, 5 trips to the playoffs for Birmingham Legion under his tenure. What a beautiful night for soccer here at Protective Stadium. You cannot ask for much better weather here in mid-May. 75 degrees here in the Magic City. Charleston Battery in white, Birmingham Legion in black, and we are off and running. For the first time these two teams meet up in a rematch of a playoff game a year ago. Charleston had Birmingham's number all of 2023. Birmingham trying to change that here early in 2024 as Dawson McCartney got forward early. His cross blocked away by Chris Allen. Birmingham hoping it's going to be an active night for McCartney, who has become a bigger and bigger focal point for them since he's gotten 90 minutes match fit over the past few weeks. As Morgan said, no shortage of dangerous options for Charleston Battery. There's a reason why they have scored goals in bunches at times here through the first couple of months of the campaign.
And let's not forget about Legion FC either. They got Pasher, they got Martinez, Pino's shown the ability to score multiple goals in a game. They have plenty of firepower themselves too. And don't forget, they've also got some coming off the bench in guys like Prosper Seam and Tabor Ataka.
Early possession here for Charleston. We'll look at the injury reports tonight. First for the visitors from South Carolina. We're about as healthy as they could be, minus one Sebastian Palma, who was not available for selection tonight. Did not make the trip here down to Birmingham, but Charleston hoping they get him back sooner rather than later. Meanwhile, Birmingham Legion, of course, still without Mikey Lopez, rehabbing that torn Achilles on his YouTube channel. Matthew Corcoran, the dynamic young midfielder, still out with injury after he underwent early surgery. No Trevor Spangenberg in the 18 and no Mohamed Bouya Touré in the 18 as well for the Legion. Stefano Pino went to ground, did not get the whistle he was searching for. Leland Archer looks like he's the man tasked with hounding Pino for most of the night tonight. Birmingham trying to get their striker a bit more involved. It was a quiet night at the office for Pino back on Saturday against Tampa Bay. Did not register a shot attempt, had just 21 touches total. 72 minutes he played in Birmingham's big-time win in St. Pete. Mark Segber's pass nearly cut out by Martinez, was cut out by Roof. Birmingham trying to go direct. Pasher not able to turn, quickly won back by Nathan Dos Santos, who pinched in well.
And any good forward, any good center forward will tell you it's not the number of touches that I actually have in the game that's important, it's the number of chances I get on the end of, number of shots I have on target, number of goals I score, or number of chances I create for my teammates. And Pino does a great job off the ball defensively of getting after and putting pressure under it and making it more easily readable for his teammates behind him to be predictable.
Good defending there by Mujib Murata, who gets the nod at right back tonight for the Legion, and McCartney clatters to the ground. Free kick given to Birmingham. Jake Roof will roll that back closer to where the original foul took place. And while we got a stoppage, Morgan, let's get a look at our keys to the game tonight. Let's start first with Charleston Battery. 10 in a row, unbeaten in the league. How do they make it 11?
Just be you. Just do what you've been doing. Again, we said once already, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Stick to what you know and what you do well. And then weather the storms. Legion FC may not create a ton of chances, but when they do create those chances and get that momentum going in this game, they're going to have to make sure that they take care of that and just be prepared and stay organized. For Legion FC, it's just going to be important for them to keep the momentum going from Saturday. They got a huge result against Tampa, and then be clinical. When they do get those few chances that they have, they need to make sure that they bury them and put them in the back of the net, just as they did this past weekend.
That was the story of the night for Birmingham Legion in St. Pete back on Saturday. They weathered an early storm. They saw an onslaught early from the Rowdies, but did not concede. The defense stayed strong. Matt Van Okel made a couple of big stops. They didn't create a ton of quality chances, but an excellent back-to-front team goal finished off by Enzo Martinez was enough to give Birmingham a big road victory. As that pass over the top will get out of play. Matt Van Oekel, a goal kick here for the Legion. It was kind of a strange week for the Legion last week. 2 games back-to-back against Tampa Bay Rowdies. Saw them in the Open Cup on Wednesday, and if you missed that game, shame on you. It was an absolute banger. The game of the tournament so far. Birmingham Legion trailed 4-0 with about a quarter hour to play. Birmingham scored not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 to force extra time. Tampa Bay eventually found 2 more and came away with a 6-4 result. Meanwhile, Charleston Battery's game in the Open Cup was a good one as well. 2-2 headed to extra time. Charleston finally got a 3rd goal on what likely was going to be the last play of the match from MD Myers. Not only was it the game-winning goal for Myers, it was the goal that finished off his hat trick. As a result of that victory, Charleston is into the next round of the Open Cup. They get Atlanta United coming up on Tuesday. First things first, trying to get a result here in Birmingham. Hikaza able to keep that in play, hounded by Marana. Koenig unable to turn, hounded by Kobe Hernandez-Foster. All the way back it goes to Leland Archer.
You can kind of see things start to develop and show themselves and how each team is going to attack this game and try and get 3 points. You can see Legion FC sitting in that low block, staying very, very compact. I mean, right now they're probably only 20 yards from the center backs in Cavita and Cronali all the way to the front in Pino, Martinez, and Pasher. And that's very, very difficult to play through. You almost have to play around that. And you can see that Charleston are doing what they do, keeping possession, probing, passing the ball around, staying patient. They will find their chances to get at Legion FC, but certainly see this game going as strong possession for Charleston, chances created from Legion FC on the counter.
It's been the MO of Charleston so far in 2024. Lots of the ball at their feet. And Pierre saying he doesn't mind all the possession. He just wants it to be purposeful possession as the flag goes up there against Mark Koenig. The Birmingham Legion free kick here.
Yeah, you hear coaches sometimes say, they keep possession for possession's sake, and it's not really directed. It's not really anything other than just keeping the ball away from the other team, which a lot of times can get you into trouble because you lose it in a bad spot, and all of a sudden they're coming at you. But Charleston's certainly not a team that keeps possession for possession's sake.
Been a team that scores goals in bunches as Matt Van Oekel gets ready to send this away. 37-year-old goalkeeper notched his 44th career shutout at Tampa Bay on Saturday. That moves him into 3rd all-time in the USL Championship. Segbers lets that bounce over the touchline. It'll be a throw for Charleston. There has been Pierman, headman for the Battery, looking on. About 7.5 minutes in, Tyler Pasher gets his 2nd touch of the night.
Coach Pierman's done a fantastic job in USL Championship so far. He kind of turned Memphis around, got him in the playoffs for a couple years, and then came to Charleston, got him in the final last year. He's won 60% of his games at Charleston so far.
Torres, an early serve. Van Oekel well off his line to come get it. Not a bad idea there from Juan W. Torres. Van Oekel saw it coming. Birmingham wanted to counter quickly, not able to, and a crunching challenge there dispossesses Martinez. Mark Koenig trying to get it back to Myers, but here comes the offside flag.
Yeah, as Van Oekel got that ball just a few moments ago, you could see Coach Sohn on the sidelines kind of waving his arms like a windmill, trying to tell, let's go, let's go, let's go. Would have been a good opportunity to try and get Legion FC forward, and when Van Oekel had the ball in his hands, it could start an attack quickly.
So Van Oekel will restart things here as Tom Sohn discusses things with his touchline. Birmingham Legion, the 7th seed in last year's playoffs. A huge road result to open the playoffs. 3-0 at Tampa Bay. Knocked the Rowdies out in the first round. That earned them that trip to Charleston. They played the Battery well. Gave up an opening goal to Emilio Icaza, but battled back to find an equalizer through Prosper Katsim late in that first half. Charleston, though, eventually found goal number 2. Nick Mark Koenig That propelled Charleston forward all the way to the USL Cup final. That is well done by Pino to find Pasher. Pasher a bit of space, plays it out wide for Marana. Marana a serve to the back post. To McCartney off the post. It got all the way through, and McCartney didn't miss by much.
Really didn't. It was something so simple. That whole move was probably 5 to 7 passes in total. It started with Cronali hitting that long diagonal ball, and then you get it through Pasher from Pino out to Marana, who puts in a good cross, and McCartney walks on and just absolutely spanks this ball off the post. Unfortunately, it doesn't go in for Legion FC fans, but that's what they're capable of doing.
Tyler Pasher right back on it, this time dispossessed by Malloy. What an acquisition Aaron Malloy was for this Charleston club. Took a good team and made them even better.
And he was with Coach Pearman at Memphis and was a standout there, and then obviously came to continue that relationship in Charleston. There's a lot of synergy there.
Always nice when you can continue a relationship with a two-time first-team All-USL selection like Malloy. Guy that is a focal point here for Charleston. No guy passes more, no guy touches it more. Not only for Charleston, but across the league so far this year than Aaron Malloy, as Pino went to ground and got the whistle. Free kick given.
I think I saw a stat that he touched the ball just shy of 1,000 times last year.
That sounds like a Nicholas Murray stat.
Shout out Nicholas Murray for the stats.
One more look at Pino. Foul from behind there by Mark Segbers. Fonwell Kavita, the Birmingham captain, gets play restarted. Blake Gardner, Morgan Copes here tonight. Glad to have you with us for the only USL Championship game on this Wednesday. Here on My 68 and on CBS Sports Golazo. Segbers heads that down, gets it back, almost gave it away. Pino, good challenge there, and it was last touched by Segbers. It'll be a Birmingham throw right in front of that Charleston bench. So far, so good for the Legion in this first half. Awfully important for Birmingham to at least stay on level terms. No team in the USL Championship has scored more first half goals than this Charleston side. 16 of them. Meanwhile, Birmingham, a bit more of a second half team. They've only scored one first half goal in USL Championship play all season to this point. Now, they've scored plenty in the second half, but early goals have not been the friend of Birmingham to this point. So, Morgan, an early good sign for Birmingham that they look like they found the rhythm, they found the tempo with this game. They haven't allowed anything early to Charleston in terms of goal scoring opportunities.
Sure, and just as you say that, just a reminder, it is still very early in this game, so teams are still filling each other out, trying to figure out how they want to get at each other. There's still plenty of time for goals in this first half, but it should be interesting to see how it all develops.
Another strong tackle there from Malloy. Mark Koenig couldn't keep it at his feet. Marana right off the feet of Allen. Charleston bring everything back under control. Crowd still settling in here, Protective Stadium. Could not ask for a more gorgeous night. Soccer here, Birmingham looking for their 5th win here in USL Championship play. Charleston, 3-point performance here tonight would be their 8th to go along with 3 draws. Good work by Myers, shields it away from Kavita, leaves it for Mark Koenig. His shot finds the waiting arms of Matt Van Oekel.
It's a really good job from Doc Myers to get in there. Got a fortuitous bounce off Kavita, but still was able to get it at his feet and create a chance for his teammate to come onto it, and Mark Koenig just hits it straight at Van Oekel for an easy save to get him into the match.
Morana was looking for that run of Tyler Pasher, but ball came just a little bit too late. Pasher was in an offside position. Just an absolute heater for Nick Mark Koenig, the guy who just took his first shot of the night. Had 13 goals last year across all competitions. He has 12 already this year, plus 9 goals in his last 5 games. Speaking of Nicholas Murray, he was his pick for USL Player of the Year here at the quarter pole, which made sense. Segbers finds Mark Koenig, tried to get it back to him, to no avail.
It's kind of tough to argue that one at this point in the year. There's obviously a couple of guys from Louisville who might have something to say about that before the end of the season, but there's certainly been a lot of firepower, a lot of fireworks from Marcanic thus far.
I was about to say, Wilson Harris probably deserves a shout. Manuel Arteaga. This Birmingham defense held goalless back on Saturday. Ball over the top of Marcanic. It'll be a Birmingham throw over there in that deep corner.
So something I've noticed thus far from Birmingham is we talked about Malloy and how he can really distribute from just about anywhere. If he's inside of Legion FC's half or close to it, I've seen Jake Roof step to him and get touch tight, leaving a little space in behind him for Ikaza to drift in between the lines. But you can tell that Legion FC have certainly pinpointed Malloy as the focal point for the distribution for Charleston tonight.
Makes sense. 27 chances created so far this year for Malloy. That was second in the USL Championship coming into the week. For the leading chance creator across the board over the last couple of seasons. Archer got ahead to that. Malloy got a second one to it. Sekber's a third. Charleston a chance to attack again. Marcanic got caught under his feet. Torres collects. Ikaza out of the wide spaces. Ikaza cut out by McCartney, but he does concede the first Charleston corner of the night.
You can see a little bit of the frustration on McCartney's face. He would have wanted to make sure he just had a better first touch to not give up a corner there, but you know, you always have to have your feet ready to receive a pass or receive a ball that comes across as a defender to make sure that things like that don't happen. But hopefully Legion FC and McCartney will think that hopefully Legion FC can keep them out on this situation.
It's the left foot of Juan David Torres to provide the service here for Charleston. And swinging ball claimed by Van Oekel. There's the man they call MVO around these parts. And with over 400 career saves under his belt. Makes a clean catch here early. Hernandez Foster under a bit of pressure, got the whistle, colliding there with Ikaza.
And speaking about Van Oekel and getting into the game as a goalkeeper, sometimes that's so important. You just want to get just a nice, easy save, come claim across, those types of things that allow you to grow into the game more and more as you go. And your confidence as a goalkeeper is very similar to the confidence of a center forward, right? You take the chances that you get, you put them on target, you make the keeper make saves, and then you ultimately get your goal. On the inverse, you ultimately are keeping people out. But very good to see Van Oekel get active so far in this game.
Free kick here for the Legion. And it looked like Emilio Ikaza was the guy that came up worse for wear there, but he's walked it off. Looks to be all right. Here comes Birmingham. McCartney has options. Tries to thread it through, and off his line, Grinwis makes a big-time collection.
Very alert from Grinwis. A similar situation. That's an easy claim for him. He read it very well. Came off his line to collect that with no pressure, but it seemed like McCartney, Pino, and Pasher were all on kind of different pages because nobody came through the middle to try and cut across the back of the defenders to get on the end of that. So that's a half a chance for a team like Legion FC in a game where you're trying to play on the counter, right? You want to take advantage of those types of things.
Trying to keep that in play, but shoulder to shoulder over there with Graham Smith. It's a Charleston team that's kind of tweaked this back four here over the last couple of seasons. Leland Archer, of course, the longest tenured member of the battery. Nathan Dos Santos, a new piece. Mark Segbers acquired right before the roster freeze late last year. Graham Smith, another former Memphis guy, brought over to Charleston by Ben Pierman. Back four in front of Adam Grinwis, another new piece as the goalkeeper has kept 5 clean sheets to this point. And so Martinez almost got on the end of that. Wouldn't have mattered. The flag up against Martinez, who looked like he took a little contact there from Grinwis.
Yeah, you see both players kind of shake hands after that. Enzo's got every right to go for that ball. And Grinwis obviously is not going to give him the right to have it. He's going to come claim it if he can. So good to see the players kind of shake hands and know that there was no malintent in that. But it's certainly a little bit more dangerous from Legion FC.
Tyler Pasher doing some defending. Cuts off Dos Santos. Goes back to the feet of his goalkeeper, Van Oekel, who has to send this one away with his off foot. Legion back here for Charleston. 20th minute here in Birmingham. The 9th overall meeting between the Battery and the Legion. Battery looking for their 5th win in this series between these two clubs. It would be their 4th in a row. Their 2nd here in Birmingham. Charleston scored 2 late goals to take a 2-1 result last time these two teams played at Protective Stadium. They met in the regular season finale last year, and then in the second round of the playoffs as Mark Koenig was found. Free kick here for Charleston. Charleston won't send anybody forward here. Malloy will just bring it under control. Fans, don't forget, mark your calendars on Wednesday, May 29th. Monterey Bay FC takes on this Eastern Conference leading Charleston Battery Club at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central on CBS Sports Network. And again, that's Monterey Bay and Charleston Battery on Wednesday, May 29th, only on CBS Sports Network. Charleston probing, looking for a goal-scoring opportunity here. Been held quiet so far, 20-plus minutes in. Ikaza. Mark Koenig tried to bend back onside, didn't. Flags up. So another restart here for Matt Van Oekel and the Legion. Birmingham fans, you can stay up to date on all the latest Legion FC news by following @BHM Legion on X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, or by downloading the Legion FC app in the App Store or in Google Play. That's @BHM Legion on social media. And the Legion FC app, your home for all things Birmingham Legion FC. Another tough challenge there. Dawson McCartney colliding with Ikaza. Emilio Ikaza not afraid to challenge for the ball. Aaron Malloy has won more duels so far for this Charleston club than Ikaza. Martinez was going to be called for a foul there. Instead, referee plays the advantage. Here comes Allen. Wide Dos Santos. Picked up his head, thought about an early serve, thought better of it. Ikaza couldn't bring it under control. Allen tried to keep it down here. Pino trying to hold it up for the rest of the team in black to get organized. Hernandez Foster trying to play into the run of Pino. Well off his line, Grinwis. Relatively easy collection in the end. Morgan, as we approach the halfway point here in this opening 45, what are some early takeaways you've got?
I really love how Legion FC have come and set themselves up tonight in the low block, defending very well with a lot of energy. They're picking the right moments to go and put pressure on the ball. And then when the game has the opportunity to slow it down, like right now, Legion FC are not in a hurry to get the ball back into play. They're kind of taking a little bit of the air out of the game so far, and that's working to their advantage, I think. For Charleston, I think you're starting to see them get a little bit more visibly frustrated because they're not able to pick passes and break Legion FC down thus far. I think it's been a great game so far, and I'm excited to see how it develops through the rest of this half and then into the second half. But so far, I think it's a great tactical matchup.
Kavita, the Birmingham captain, sends it right back to his goalkeeper. Trying to find a breakthrough first here. Charleston, one of the highest scoring outfits in the league this year. Birmingham, a bit slower offensive starts. Starting to find a few more goals as of late. The question is, what kind of tempo does Birmingham want to play with, given current state of their calendar? As Morgan said, this is Birmingham's 4th game in their last 12 days to start the month of May. Pino got a touch on through traffic, but only a touch as Grinwis takes it off him.
You know, one stat just looking that's worth noting so far. Charleston already have 3 times as many passes as Legion FC do so far. And that's accurate passes, not just passes attempted.
Still looking for that first real goal scoring opportunity. Mark Koenig had an opportunity from distance. Did not trouble Matt Van Oekel. Bernali heads that back into his attacking third. Roof almost turned with it. Malloy able to bring it down.
This is where some teams need to, Legion FC need to be very careful. They're stretched. They've pushed a lot of bodies forward. You see Cronali still trying to recover in defense right now. So they have to be very careful in situations like that they're able to stop the ball as they did and get organized to defend Charleston's attack.
Kaza on the turn. Myers plays in the run of Segbers. Pino sprinting back defensively. Malloy, a first-time serve to the back post over the top of everyone.
Yeah, and who's right there on top of Malloy as he goes to serve that to make sure he doesn't have time in an easy service is Jake Roof.
Good stretch of possession there for Charleston, but nothing comes of it in the end. McCartney just that out wide to the former member of Charleston, A.J. Patterson. It's the start once again tonight for the Legion. Segber's got a touch to it, so did Archer. It'll be a throw for Birmingham. By the way, Birmingham fans, if you're looking to grab some of this season's Legion FC merch to wear to the next match here at Protective Stadium, you can check out all the new gear now at bhmlegion.shop. Again, that's bhmlegion.shop. That includes, by the way, that new Vulcan kit that Birmingham are wearing once again tonight. Alex Cronali, the Birmingham center back. Plenty of time and space here. Wide Murata. Working against Dos Santos. Pasher. Edge of the area. Still Tyler Pasher. Nutmeg DeCaza. Got around Markanek. Pasher trying to get it back into traffic around the penalty spot. Pasher finally goes all the way back to Matt Van Opel and resets.
That's one thing Charleston will not want to see happen too many times in this game, with Tyler Pasher on the edge of the right flank, cutting inside on his left foot, almost all the way across the box, and then tried to find a cheeky little back pass to slip Enzo Martinez in, and it nearly worked. But that's when he's at his best, when he's able to run full speed with the ball at his left foot, and at any moment he can shoot it and put a ball on target from just about anywhere with his left foot.
Pasher had 2 of the 4 goals an Open Cup match against Tampa Bay on a Wednesday. He only played 18 minutes on Saturday, so he's fairly fit. Late challenge there from Enzo Martinez, and we'll see if this is our first yellow card of the night. As Mark Segbers got brought down late, right in front of the Charleston bench. It looks like just a stern talking to here for Martinez. Didn't look like there was a ton of contact initially, but it was certainly pretty late. Anytime you leave your feet like that, you're putting yourself in a bad spot. So Martinez escapes cardless. Credit our referee Jeremy Shear, who's kept things flowing so far this evening. Approach the half-hour mark. Scoreless so far between Charleston and Birmingham. Over the top, Markanek got behind Patterson. Kavita over to help, and he ushers it over the end line. It'll be the second Charleston corner of the night.
Yeah, no sense in taking any risks there. If you're Fanwell Kavita, you could probably use your body. You've got plenty of it. You're big and strong. You could probably make sure Markanek doesn't get on the end of this, but at the end of the day, there's no point in taking any risks. Put that out for a corner and live to defend this one.
It's Torres to serve last time for this flag. This time it'll be Malloy, the Irishman and former Penn State Nittany Lion. Malloy, an outswinging serve, dealt with by Patterson. Torres trying to shield it away from Enzo Martinez. Couldn't. Shot by Allen to cut that out before Pasher was running the other way.
Interesting to see that Charleston have now played an in-swinger and an out-swinger from this corner over here. Maybe it's just to keep Legion FC on their toes, but certainly something worth noting to see if they continue to mix that up.
Touch there from Ikaza to get it to Allen and Malloy. Torres, another one-touch pass. Markanek, here comes Charleston. Out wide Myers, first time serve a bit too far in front of Ikaza. It looked awfully dangerous there for a moment.
Certainly did. And that's what Charleston can do, is they can get the ball and they can make those quick little passes, one touch, little tiki-taka stuff to break you down and get in behind you. And that's certainly a little glimpse of what they're capable of doing to anybody.
Again, good work from Mark Koenig in traffic. Allows Charleston to regain possession back. Fan Select is the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select is the player's choice. About a half hour gone here in Birmingham tonight. Charleston trying to extend this unbeaten run that's now run 10 straight USL games, 11 across all competitions. Myers has another cross blocked out by Kavita. It'll be a third Charleston corner coming. Charleston started the year with 2 draws. Since then, 6 wins and 2 draws over their last 8, plus that extra time win against Tormenta in the Open Cup. Back to an in-swinger this time. It'll be Torres again.
Yeah, and they send 2 over. They send both Malloy and Torres, which forces Legion FC to send 2 over. They still play it short.
Torres does get the serve away. It got into the mix. Still work to be done defensively. Kaza back towards the penalty spot, and Patterson finally sends it away from danger. Morgan, you touched on it before that third corner. A few different options so far on corners for the visitors.
Certainly, they're trying to mix things up and just do something different. Some teams like to do that. Other teams like to, do what they do and do it every time and do it as well as they possibly can. They're not trying to hide anything. It's just we think we're better than you and come and stop us. And there's other teams that like to mix it up and do several different things. But Legion FC so far has stood up and stood up to the task of defending these corners thus far.
Got some set piece defending to do perhaps here. Jacoby Hernandez Foster gave away a free kick. Malloy lobs it down the line for Segbers. Pino clearance near that corner flag. Is it going to be a throw or a corner? Referee says throw. Torres and Malloy arguing for a corner, but to no avail. So instead of those two, it'll be Segbers to get it back into play. Charleston Battery. Kaza too tall for Segbers. And as Foster able to clear it away from that corner. Time of the ball so far tonight for Charleston, but so far just the one shot aside. Tessa McCartney hit woodwork for the Legion. Mark Koenig from distance right into the breadbasket of Matt Van Oekel. Ben Pierman telling Rob Vaughn at Protagonist Soccer earlier that it's not the first time someone's hit the post against them, and Charleston's had a few things go their way early. It's allowed them to keep this run going, but said, you know what? We might have been the more deserving team, but when you have a clear identity, when you know what you have to do, and you can take it week by week, and you've got a team that works hard like this team does, it's amazing how the hard-working team seems to have a few breaks go their way sometimes. This has been a hard-working team that's been very good early. Here's Mark Koenig again, trying to get some contact from Kavita, but did not get a whistle, and Matt Van Oekel makes another play.
Yeah, it's good defending, and Mark Koenig certainly tried to draw that contact from Kavita. He did, but, I mean, the referee was right there. Hats off to him for having a good position to make sure he made the right call.
A solid defensive night for Fonwell Kavita so far. Birmingham hoping that continues. One of their best defensive performances of the season on Saturday against Tampa Bay. What a turnaround from conceding 6 on Wednesday to conceding nothing on the weekend against the same opponent.
Losing stinks. They hate to lose. But a lot of times you get the opportunity to turn around and play in a few days, and you have to forget about it. Legion FC certainly did that, came out and got a huge result against Tampa, in Tampa. And kind of really played very, very well defensively and compacted and got a clean sheet, which is huge for anybody. So they'll certainly be happy about that, especially after giving up 6 a few nights before.
There's Torres working centrally over the top. Marcanic was offside. Flag up and off the crossbar. The first time the offside flag has got Nick Marcanic this evening. So Alex Crognale will restart things here for Birmingham Legion. McCartney trying to play the big diagonal, not quite on the same page with Tyler Pasher. Fans, if you can't watch the match, you can turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Plus, you can hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Archer under a bit of pressure. Deft touch there around Pino to buy him a little bit of space. Birmingham at times has shown a bit higher line of pressure against Charleston, but for the most part, drawn the line of confrontation a little bit lower this evening. The goalkeeper. The direction of Myers. Kavita got ahead to it instead. Both guys came up hurting a little bit there as Inkaza is called for the foul, bringing Jake Roof down. Myers' boot might have gotten Kavita right in the guts. Inkaza clatters into the back of the Alabama native.
Yeah, it's always fun to see players come up and protest a foul called from the referee, and then when you go back and see the replay, they weren't anywhere close to the ball, and it's just a competitive thing, right?
I was about to say, I don't know about you. I've never fouled in my life.
Have you ever played soccer?
Yeah. Free kick brought to you by Birmingham Freightliner.
I know you've played soccer. I just didn't believe you when you said you haven't fouled anybody.
Exactly. And as Foster into the box, Patterson got ahead to it. Marcanic got a boot to it, and it'll be a Birmingham throw. Just like the NBA playoffs, right? No one ever fouls. No one ever agrees with the foul called against you. Pino got a touch. Headed away from danger. Roof trying to keep it down here. McCartney, a chest and a head. Segber's trying to fight it off him, and did so. Good positioning from Segbers, and he wins the free kick as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic defending if you're a young outside back watching at home. Segbers does a fantastic job of using his body just to continue to keep pressure on McCartney so he can't get it down and control it, and then was able to actually win it and then earn a foul to relieve the pressure on his own team.
Giveaway there by Archer, but Martinez couldn't make Charleston pay for it. Now a more convincing clearance up the line this time, and Inkaza couldn't keep his feet. Starting to pressure a little bit more, not allowing Charleston to build as easily here over the last few minutes.
This is one of those storms we talked about for Charleston. You have to weather them. You know that teams like Legion FC have plenty of firepower, can get at you, can score goals at the drop of a hat. So you have to weather the storm and eventually get back on the ball, get back to what you do well. So now it's just a matter of making sure you stay organized and don't switch off mentally for even half a second.
Roof got it to Pasher, who got it back to him. Good hustle there from Roof, who tried to win a free kick and did.
Pasher will be asking some questions to Roof right there. Was that ball meant for me? Pasher, not the tallest of individuals. It looked like it might have been in his shoulder height, but it came in like a rocket from Roof.
Santos cuts out that pass from Pasher, but Cornali keeps it down here for the Legion. Also, McCartney working centrally, found some space. Roof on the turn, falls for Pino, who couldn't keep it down.
Again, there's another one of those half chances, right? A ball kind of bounces around, ping pongs off a Roof, ends up with Pino on his right foot, and just doesn't have the opportunity to get it down and get a good shot on target. But those are, for a guy like Pino, that's a chance. Like, he'll want that back. He'll be upset with himself for not putting that on target and making the goalkeeper make a save at least. Even more upset that he didn't score a goal.
33-year-old Brazilian Stefano Pino scored him in bunches early with the Legion, looking for another opportunity here. Good collection from Grinwis.
Yeah, and in these past few segments, what Legion FC has done very, very well is when they win the ball, they're winning it cleanly, and they're making that very next pass. It's going forward. It's cutting out a line or two of defenders for Charleston and creating these half chances for themselves. That's very important. Anytime you win the ball from your opponent, if you can go and you can play that next ball forward before they can organize themselves, you're going to have a much better chance of getting at the goal and creating a quality opportunity.
Mark Segbers almost kept that in play in front of the Birmingham bench. Instead, it'll be a throw for the Legion. By the way, fans, Birmingham Legion FC is back on the road next Saturday against Sacramento Republic at 9 o'clock Central Time. You can watch the match live on ESPN Plus or in Birmingham on My 68. The Legion return to Protective Stadium on Sunday, June 9th against Indy 11 at 6 o'clock Central Time. Get your tickets to the match today at bhmlegion.com/tickets. If you can't make it to the match, of course, you can watch live on ESPN Plus or locally here in Alabama on My 68. That's Birmingham Legion hosting Indy 11 coming up on Sunday, June 9th, right here at Protective Stadium. Birmingham get a little bit of a breather after this torrid stretch here. Their fourth game in 12 days tonight. They don't play this weekend. Torres got some contact. He was fouled. And a free kick perhaps just outside of shooting range here for the Battery.
I really love what Torres just did right there. Ball comes in. It's an easy pass. He could easily take a touch, maybe turn, get on the half turn, but instead he lets it run through his legs. It goes into to Myers, who lays it back to him. He earns a foul. But those types of dummies freeze defenders because they really don't know what to do, and a lot of times they're not expecting it. So that's the second or third one I've seen from Charleston tonight. I would expect professionals like Cornali and Kavita to start to clue in on that kind of stuff and just kind of be prepared and be on their toes so they can have a good first touch and send their team the other way. But certainly something that is effective in a lot of circumstances.
It's a free kick from about 33, 34 yards away. See what Charleston decide to do here. David Torres strikes off the wall. Van Oekel punched it away and then collected it.
And I think that took a deflection coming in, which made it even more difficult for Van Oekel. It seemed a little odd the way he punched it, but we'll maybe see on the replay what it looks like. But now the game is a little stretch. Charleston has several players forward. This could be an opportunity for Legion FC to get at them.
Martinez thinking the same way. Switches the play to the other side of the park. Roof on the turn. Finds A.J. Patterson with a little bit of space. Touch there from Roof. Kobe Hernandez Foster's had a quiet first half, but this is a lovely ball over the top. Murata lays it off. Enzo Martinez a chance. Martinez couldn't squeeze it off. Still work defensively to be done for Charleston. Pasher not quite on the same page with McCartney. Good job by Roof once again to keep it down here in the Birmingham attacking third.
Been very impressed with Jake Roof tonight. He's done a very good job in possession and in defense. He's created some stuff. He's gotten out of sticky situation with his good feet, and made the ball go to the other side and change the direction of play. So he got the assist in Tampa this past weekend. So he's certainly a player that's kind of growing into this game a little bit, and I like his performance so far.
Now Charleston at chance to return the favor. Myers finds Torres in space. 1v1 with Kavita. Torres thought about the shot, laid it off instead. It's a wide open net, and Ikaza missed it. Oh, Emilio Icaza can't believe that he couldn't find the frame.
Yeah, you see Matt Van Oekel was not in any hurry to get this ball back into play. We talked about how when Legion FC go forward, right, they can be successful at the back, and certainly this was a chance that any attacking player would say, I'm going to score that 99 times out of 100, and Icaza just misses the frame altogether. It's certainly something you can tell in his reaction that he's very upset about. But again, Legion FC got forward, and then Charleston came back and hit at them quickly, and that's what created that chance. Legion FC get less compact. Charleston stretched the game, go on their own little counterattack, and create probably the best chance of the game so far.
Emilio Icaza scored against Birmingham. Eastern Conference semifinals last year, could not find the back of the net there. There will not be any first half stoppage time, brought to you by UAB Medicine. That is the end of the first half. Birmingham's defense sound there till the end. Charleston thought they had the game's opening goal, but instead we go into the break knotted, scoreless. And we'll see what changes come about after this halftime break. Coming up at the half, got a chance to talk to Jake Roof, get his thoughts on the start to 2024. Plus, we'll get a look around the USL Championship, the standings, and the upcoming slate. That all on the way when we return to Protective Stadium. Our score at halftime, Birmingham Legion 0, Charleston 0, here in the Magic City.
Calling all Legion fans, Birmingham Legion and your local Papa John's have teamed up to kick your hunger with these exclusive Papa John's deals. When the Legion wins, you win. Get a free large pizza with the purchase of a large pizza at regular menu price the day after a Legion win. Using code LEGIONWINS at papajohns.com. Hungry for better? All season long, enjoy 25% off your regular menu price order when you use code LEGION at papajohns.com. Don't miss out on these great deals at a participating Papa John's.
Season tickets on sale now.
Welcome back to our coverage of Birmingham Legion FC, here with defender Jake Roof here today. Jake, appreciate you taking a little bit of time for us, man.
Anytime. Appreciate it.
Is it weird looking out on this training ground now, considering yourself one of the veterans?
It's not weird just because it feels like I've been here a while.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable. Feel like the trust between me and my teammates and the coaches has gotten better each year, so it's a good feeling.
How nice has that been to have kind of those relationships keep going, whether it's Coach Stone, whether it's guys like Fanuel Kavita or Alex Cornelli, or guys that you've now played multiple seasons with?
Yeah, there's been a group of consistent guys, and it just makes the transition easier each year. The new guys come in, and they just fall right into the culture. So
you got Moses Mensah back for a second year as well. AJ Patterson's one of the new guys back there with you guys. What's it been like ingratiating him into this team?
AJ's a good guy, good sense of humor. He fits right in, and he works hard. He gets after it. So we all like AJ.
Obviously, you guys have a busy stretch of games coming up here. What's training been like this week as you guys get ready for a tough stretch here over the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, this week has been pretty tough. We try to up the intensity as the season goes on, especially after a goal like last week. So this week's been tough, but I think we've responded well, and hopefully you see that tomorrow.
You've been in the lineup quite a bit here over the last couple of weeks. What's been the best game that you think you've played individually so far this year?
I think when I came on in the Loudon game, started at right back.
Yeah.
Alex went out, so I switched to center back. I think that's probably my better performance of the season. Just won a lot of balls, set the team going the other way. So trying to keep that thing alive.
When you make a transition like that, you're starting on the outside, then you have to shift inside to center back here for a long stretch there. Alex went out after the first half. What's that transition like, and what are the adjustments like that you make?
Yeah, I think it's better switching from the outside back to the middle. You see the whole game, it's in front of you. And I'd argue it's a little bit less running. So sometimes in the Red Wolves game, I started at center back, switched to the outside, and my legs were gone, so I started cramping. So it was better to switch back to the middle, just keep the game in front of me, just trust my midfielders, get them the ball. So.
What's the key when you have a busy stretch of games coming up here? Do you have anything, like, do you try to get any extra rest? Like, is there anything you change about your routine?
Not so much. I'm not an ice bath guy.
You're not an ice bath guy.
Hot bath is the ticket for
hot
me.
Bath, hot shower.
Yeah, hot bath, hot shower. Just the afternoon naps, they add up. It really goes a long way.
Yeah? Big nap guy? Big Netflix guy?
Not Netflix, Amazon.
Amazon. Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Video games?
I do game.
Okay.
Fair bit.
All right.
Right now my game is Apex Legends.
Apex, all right.
Yeah, me and my friends get on there, keep up with them through the game, so it's kind of fun.
There you go, love that. So what's the focus here over the next couple of weeks for you and for the team individually?
I say for me, just improving my quality of service, try to do more on the attacking end. I think as a team that's pretty much the same. We're sound where we are defensively, building up. We feel like we have a good idea, but now we just got to be a little more threatening, a little more unpredictable.
Well, looking forward to watching you guys take that next step here over the course of this month. Jake, appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, thank you.
More from our coverage at Birmingham Legion right after this.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold. For the moments when anticipation becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL. You can see it in my eyes. Only want the best. Anybody, every night I won't settle for less. Got me looking to the sky. Got me feeling blessed. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Burning up inside of my chest. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Back here at Protective Stadium, welcome back to our coverage of the USL Championship tonight from Birmingham, Alabama, here on CBS Sports. Colosso scoreless so far at the break between Birmingham Legion and Charleston Battery. Charleston, of course, the top team in the East. Out west, it's Sacramento Republic, the only other unbeaten still in the USL Championship, Sacramento and New Mexico, trying to create some space there at the top of that Western Conference table. On the Eastern Conference side of things, Charleston 7 wins to go along with 3 draws in their first 10 USL contests. They are number 1. Lou City not too far behind. Birmingham now up to 5th leapfrogging Tampa Bay Rowdies after Birmingham took all 3 points away from Tampa Bay last weekend. Of course, still just at the quarter pole, really, of this 2024 USL Championship schedule. Speaking of the schedule, coming up here, plenty of games this weekend. This is the only game here on this Wednesday night, but it starts on Friday with El Paso and Memphis, Colorado and Rhode Island. And then Saturday, some big-time games as well, including a couple games on Golazo Network. Starting on Friday, Colorado Springs and Rhode Island on Golazo, and then Tampa Bay, Morgan, and FC Tulsa, a game that's sure to be good as well.
Absolutely. There's a lot of tasty matchups this weekend. I think one I like the most is probably Indy 11 and Hartford Athletic. I think that's going to be a very good game.
Hartford trying to get back on track after Charleston took all 3 points away from them last week. And, of course, still plenty coming on that Saturday as well, headlined by Phoenix Rising and Miami, and Las Vegas Lights and Lou City. The late slate joining Oakland and Orange County. 2 of those games on ESPN+. Plus the Phoenix Rising game against Miami is over on Golazo as well. So plenty to get to here this upcoming week in USL Championship play, but then back next week, the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup continues. 7 USL Championship teams still alive into the round of 16, including Charleston Battery Morgan, who get their shot at Atlanta United coming up on Tuesday.
And that's always a fun match, a fun opportunity for teams to get to go and play against an MLS team. It's certainly interesting to see how they'll fare against a team like Atlanta United.
Hopefully they go the way of Detroit City and New Mexico. Both of them took out MLS opponents in the last round. Detroit City in style in one of the best penalty kick shootouts in U.S. Open Cup history. Detroit City went down to Houston and advanced in dramatic fashion against the Dynamo. So be on the lookout for more of the 2024 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup next week. Here in Birmingham, 45 minutes in the books between Charleston and Birmingham and Morgan. A fairly even stat sheet to this point. Neither side created a real big scoring opportunity until the very end. Emilio Icaza, a shot he wants back.
Certainly, and Coach Stone will be very pleased with this scoreline going into halftime. Looking at stats, Legion FC has scored 13 goals in the second half. Charleston have scored 8. So maybe a little bit of the edge to Birmingham. I like what they've done. Charleston are probably going to go in and say, hey, we need to start playing faster. We need to get through the lines. We're keeping the ball as best. We have the corners. We have all that. But we need to get the chances on goal.
One of the most dangerous attacking units in the USL Championship, held to just 3 shots so far in 45 minutes here in Birmingham. We'll see if that changes in the second 45 minutes, which will come your way after one more quick break. Scoreless at halftime between Birmingham, Legion, and Charleston. The second half on the way right after this.
We are Altec, Birmingham-based since 1929. We set the gold standard in equipment and services that connect us to the power and communications we all need. From bucket trucks to digger derricks, the equipment we make helps our customers and our communities dig deeper and reach higher. We're a team. We're a family. We're looking for someone just like you. Hammer down and team up with Altec. Learn more at jobs.altec.com.
They come for the pop, the sizzle, the food and drink. They come to escape the same old and replace it with some kind of wonderful. But mostly they come to play. And play, they will.
Hey, thanks for the backup.
Back here at Protective Stadium, just a couple more minutes left to try to grab some snacks before we get ready for the second half. And while we get ready for the second half, let's get a look at some of the highlights from the first 45 minutes between Birmingham Legion and Charleston Battery. It was a pretty even start. Birmingham Legion, though, Morgan had the first scoring opportunity. Stefano Pino trying to get on the end of that pass through traffic. Nick Markanik only squeezed one shot on target there in the first half as well. This is the opportunity Pino wants back.
Absolutely. He'll tell you 100 times over that he thinks he can score that goal, and unfortunately it doesn't go his way. That did take a deflection, so Matt Van Uckelt actually did very, very well to get a hand of that. Comes off of Cronali, and you see the spin of the ball changes. He has to put his left paw up there. It's a good save from him. And then here's the biggest chance of the half. Ikaza just mixes the target, and Van Uckelt comes out, makes himself big, but Ikaza will still say he has to score that.
That was the killer opportunity Charleston was waiting for, just could not put it away, so we are still scoreless through a half here at Protective Stadium. And as both teams make their way out to start this second half, we'll see if either side has any changes in store. Doesn't look to be the case. And we'll see how long that is the case. Of course, Tom Soane's club, as we said earlier, playing their fourth game in 12 days here tonight. They'll get the weekend off, but might be some tired legs out there for the second half. Meanwhile, Charleston had the weekend off after playing in the midweek against Tormenta. They've got a busy stretch coming up as well. That really starts with that Atlanta United game in the Open Cup next Tuesday. They go Tuesday and then against El Paso and then at Monterey Bay. 3 games in a 9-day stretch for Charleston coming up after this one. They're a bit the fresher side coming into tonight. We'll see if that is a factor here in the second 45 minutes. The Birmingham Legion to get things started here in the second half. Nick Markanik make an impact on this game. Alex Cronali hoping not, as Tyler Pasher gets things rolling. The second half underway between Birmingham Legion and Charleston Battery here on Golasso Network. Gardner, Morgan Copes, glad to have you with us tonight. Charleston trying to keep that unbeaten streak to start 2024 alive. Birmingham trying to take out Charleston for the first time since 2022, and 26 seconds into the second half, we have our first yellow card of the night shown to Enzo Martinez, brought to you by Rubio Law Firm.
I don't think there'll be any surprises there. He fouled Segbers early in the first half in a similar fashion and got a stern talking to, so immediately the referee comes over, gives him a yellow card, and you have to be careful in those situations after you've had a stern talking to, and Martinez is no stranger to a yellow card, that's for sure, but he'll have to be careful.
So one of the most important pieces of this Birmingham Legion team now on a yellow card for the remainder of this second half. Charleston bring it under control here. Graham Smith, and then Archer once again the center backs tonight for Charleston. Smith has his pass cut out there by Marana. Back to the feet of Dos Santos, whose touch let him down. It'll be a Birmingham throw. Birmingham head coach Tom Soane getting a touch there. Not a bad one.
Again, if I'm Tom Soane, I'm not changing anything. I'm telling my guys, keep doing what we're doing. We're creating the chances that we want. We just have to make sure, again, we talked about keys to the game, be clinical. For Charleston, they're going to have to find a way to break Legion FC down in a quicker fashion.
What a ball. Martinez saved. What a play by Grinwis, denying Martinez at close range.
I'll tell you what, Enzo Martinez is screaming for a penalty, and referee probably doesn't give it because he gets that shot on target. If he goes down, maybe he gets it, but certainly a warning shot from Legion FC early in the second half. I'm really interested to see what the replay shows there, but Enzo Martinez is very, very animated about not getting a penalty here.
Great play from Grinwis there. The best opportunity Birmingham Legion have had so far tonight.
And Grinwis leads the league right now in clean sheets. He's got 5 so far. They've only given up 7 goals all year. So getting one past him in the first place is something to be proud of.
Archer deals with that only as far as Jake Roof, though. Martinez through traffic. Grenwis makes the catch. Quickly gets it outletted to Myers. Good defending there by Fonwell Kavita. To Martinez, an opportunity after the layoff there from Pino. After Charleston had a killer opportunity late in the first half, Birmingham starts the second half likewise. So far, neither team's been able to capitalize. Torres got the serve away, but nobody home. Martinez, an easy chest to his goalkeeper.
Very alert play from Martinez and Van Okel, and then they get the ball out quickly, right? Charleston is now stretched. It's an opportunity for them to potentially counter. Malloy does a fantastic job of stopping that attack, but again, as a goalkeeper, when you get the ball in your hands cleanly and you have the opportunity to start an attack, a picture-perfect example was in the World Cup several years ago, where Tim Howard started the attack that led to the goal that Landon Donovan scored, that sent them through the next round. So certainly, goalkeepers, you can be a part of the attack. It just has to be the right situation.
Defending there from Charleston, taking the ball off of Tyler Pasher. It'll be a Birmingham throw out near the midway line. So a busy start to our second half here. Everybody, thanks for watching here on CBS Sports Golasso Network tonight, or here locally on My 68. Fans USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golasso Network and on ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Martinez dispossesses Malloy, and A.J. Patterson's got a bit of space. Segber's coming to close him down. Kobe Hernandez-Foster finds Martinez. Martinez's shot blocked aside, but it will lead to the second corner of the night for the Legion, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Legion FC are certainly starting the second half with a little bit more pep in their step. They're coming after Charleston these first few minutes and have almost gotten a goal, have created a couple of good chances, so look for them to potentially nod one in here.
Pardon me, the board here at Protective Stadium said they had a corner kick already, but this is the first corner of the night for the Legion. An outswinging service here from Tyler Pasher. Driven across the face of goal. Grenwis only got a hand to it. It falls for McCartney. His shot blocked away by Torres. Collected by Allen, who's held back by Cronali. And the referee now does blow for the free kick, but no card for Cronali, interestingly enough.
He gets away with one there. That certainly could have been a professional foul, or seen as a professional foul, because Charleston was on the break. They could have gone very quickly. Created a counter, but referee decided to allow him to play.
Kaza not quite on the same page there with Segbers. Throw for the Legion 6 minutes into this second half.
Kaza doesn't seem to have been himself tonight. He hasn't seemingly got on the ball as much as he normally likes to, and obviously missed that big chance, and then that errant pass right there. He needs to kind of grow more in his confidence in this game to help his team get 3 points.
Pasher in a wide area. Finds Kobe Hernandez-Foster. Out the other side, Patterson working with Dawson McCartney. McCartney thought about the serve. Segbers hounding him stride for stride. Patterson not quite enough touch to find Hernandez-Foster.
And Legion FC is certainly, they've set their lines much higher, almost on top of the 18 of Charleston right now. So they're going to make Charleston kind of play through them. This is something that they may do for a short period of time in the second half, but certainly setting their lines, and they're very stretched right now. They're about 40 yards from front to back, which makes it easier to pass through. So you have to make sure that you're very organized and predictable, or make it predictable for your teammates behind you.
Jake hounded by Kaza, could only play it to Grenwis. Experienced goalkeeper, 32 years old. Michigan native, just like Coach Ben Pierman, who spent plenty of time in Michigan. Those two go back a long ways. Grenwis actually worked with Brian Jones, who was his goalkeeper coach at St. Louis FC. Jones now on staff with Charleston. Grenwis coming down from MLS to the USL Championship, and He's been solid at the back this year. He's been solid at the back so far tonight. Charleston hoping that continues. Smith heads that back where it came from. It'll be another throw for the Legion. Marana, the Texan, making his 4th start of the year tonight. Threw that just a bit too tall for Pino, and Grinwis comes to get it.
Yeah, Legion FC have to make sure they're set up well here defensively. They do a good job of stopping the counterattack, because Kobe Hernandez-Foster was the furthest player forward, and he's the 6th. So he has to make sure he shepherds everything in front of the center back, still very central and far up the field. So don't want to get caught out defensively.
Charleston a chance perhaps to throw numbers forward here. Segbers didn't like what he saw in front of him. Martinez forces Leland Archer backwards. Torres sinks into a space between the lines. Ikaza trying to thread it through. Kernali taken off it by Dos Santos, but able to win it back. Birmingham once again up to the task defensively. Sure can't keep that from rolling into the Charleston bench. Possession begins again for the Battery. Charleston side trying to keep their unbeaten streak alive. Starting this year even better than they did last year, when they started last year with a 9-game unbeaten run en route to a 3rd place finish, 59 points the regular season. Malloy getting forward here, got around Roof. Malloy lays it off. Torres has space. Torres trying to get around Marana, got a shot away. Couldn't get much behind it. Van Oekel, a comfortable save.
Very good defending from Marana right there in that situation. Torres is a shifty player and can make you miss as a defender, and Marana does a fantastic job. He knows the ball's going to go to his left foot, so it does a great job in that instance of kind of playing that, gets the deflection, makes it easier for Van Oekel in the end.
Dawson McCartney almost got behind the Charleston back line there. David Torres has had his moment so far tonight. The 23-year-old from Colombia playing his first season here in the United States. Turning into a key part here for Charleston, making his 6th start tonight. Now Nathan Dos Santos a chance to get forward, working with Torres on that same flank. Torres a serve, Van Oekel a catch in traffic.
That's a good, strong collection from Van Oekel. Coming out, that 6-yard box is yours as a goalkeeper. Nobody's supposed to touch you. You have full reign to go do what you want to do. He does it. He makes sure he's the king of that area. We talked about early in the game, growing in confidence. Van Oekel has certainly shown no signs of a lack of confidence tonight.
Even at 37 years young, Matt Van Oekel off to a great start here in 2024. Just a little bit of time a few weeks back due to injury. Back healthy and fit the last couple of weeks as Roof wins Birmingham a throw. Birmingham fans, don't forget you can stay up to date on all the latest Legion FC news by following @BHM Legion on X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and downloading the Legion FC app on Google Play and the App Store. That's @BHM Legion, Legion FC app, your way to keep up with everything Birmingham Legion FC. Patterson pinged that all the way out to Marana, who's hounded by Dos Santos. Marana wanted a foul. Instead, it'll be a Birmingham throw right in front of their head coach. Smith ushers it back to Grinwis. 1-2 between those two. Canadian Dos Santos along this line. Ikaza dispossessed from behind by Kernali, but a late whistle and a foul. Fans here at Protective Stadium do not appreciate. And now here comes Charleston. Ikaza's got some space to work with here.
Kernali's out of position, having stepped forward. That's right where he would have been. That's something Legion FC need to hold their breath and be thankful for, that didn't come off on the end of a white shirt from that touch from Torres. But again, maybe a questionable call, but Charleston get on with it, start the game back, and get at Legion FC as quickly as possible. That's certainly an area that can be dangerous.
Arana a bit too heavy with his touch. Dos Santos took it off him, but it's going to be a Birmingham throw. Much to the dismay of the Charleston bench. Nathan Dos Santos in his first season here in Charleston after spending the last couple of seasons with Pittsburgh. 56 games with the Riverhounds over the last couple of years. Finds Martinez in a half space, who gets it out the other side for McCartney. And again, A.J. Patterson, some room over there on that flank. Which side will find that breakthrough first here in this second half? Aaron Malloy not allowing Tyler Pasher any room to breathe anywhere around the attacking third. It's probably the way to go. Ikaza has options, trying to go direct right down the middle for Myers, who drops Roof. Myers an opportunity, but tried to lay it off, and Kernali had it read.
Ironically enough, we were talking about dummies and how they can freeze defenders.
Good defending by Dos Santos. It's a Birmingham throw.
Legion FC are the ones who give a dummy in midfield. Patterson right there, and then the Charleston players are able to, and Segbers are able to start a counterattack and create a good chance for them to go forward. Very dangerous for Legion FC to give the ball away like that in the midfield.
First pass picked off. Torres working with Allen. Ikaza bombing forward as well. Torres kept his run going. Options arriving in and around the 18. To the back post, Segbers a header. Van Oekel plays it on a hop. Morgan, this game's starting to get stretched a little bit more than the compact game we saw most of the first half.
It certainly is, and it'll be interesting to see what Legion FC try to do and what Charleston are trying to. That's a bad giveaway from Roof.
Myers on the turn, Kavita cuts it out. It just feels like sooner rather than later there's going to be a killer goal scoring opportunity. Mark Segbers hoping it's right here. Segbers a step over a dummy, leaves it for Ikaza. He doesn't miss this time. Emilio Ikaza puts Charleston in front with less than a half hour to play.
Yeah, and there's a fantastic dummy that just frees up Ikaza, freezes the defenders, easy touch, easy placement, easy goal for Charleston in the end.
It just felt like it was coming for one side or the other, and in the end it's been Pierman's squad who takes a lead on the road. 1-0 Charleston Battery, thanks to a 61st minute goal from Emilio Ikaza, his second of the year. And his second in as many seasons against Birmingham. Legion, goal brought to you by AT&T, is a much appreciated one for the visitors from South Carolina.
And not really much Van Oekel could do about that one. And I know he's shaking his head and is upset. The clean sheet is now gone. But what a fantastic job from Charleston. And Doc Myers surgically opening this up just by letting a ball run between his legs. And Ikaza it's just as easy as it could be.
Clinical finish. Emilio Ikaza. And Charleston now have their noses in front. 1-0 to the Battery, and now Birmingham chasing an equalizer. It looks like the home side are prepping at least one, if not multiple changes here in a matter of moments.
Legion FC now have to come out of their shell a little bit, and this game could open up some for Charleston to go get a few more goals or get some more chances just because of the nature of the game changing with that goal.
No nonsense clearance there from Graham Smith. It'll be a Birmingham throw in the attacking third. As Morgan said earlier, Birmingham no stranger to finding second half goals, but don't want to find yourselves trailing Eastern Conference leaders with less than a half hour to go. Birmingham are going to get some fresh legs here momentarily, but they've got an attack working first. Morana working against Dos Santos. Roof just a bit too far out front of him. Koenig cuts out the pass and finds Torres, who's able to hold it up. David Torres starting to find more of the ball here as of late, but Martinez helps the Legion win it back. Pasher trying to go at Ikaza, trying to get around him. Archer to the rescue defensively. Kavita keeps it down here with Birmingham. 2 subs for the Legion, Moses Mensah and Miguel Perez. Set to come on here at the next stoppage, but first things first, Enzo Martinez finds Tyler Pasher. Pasher denied at close range by Grenwis.
If Enzo Martinez sees that pass just a half second earlier, Pasher was on. He took an extra touch, allowed that play to kind of develop a little bit further and deeper into the box. Pasher will want that back. He will have wanted to score that goal. Certainly a great opportunity for Legion FC to open up Charleston and make it 1-1. Grenwis comes out, makes the save. Ball ends up still in play, and Pasher goes over him. In another world, you might get up as a center forward or as a striker like Pasher and claim a penalty because he makes a great save. But then again, you come down and he fouls you and you go down, you might get it. But certainly a great opportunity for Legion FC to open up Charleston.
So a double change brought to you by Papa John's. Jake Roof off, 19-year-old on loan from St. Louis. Miguel Perez on. AJ Patterson off. Moses Mensah on. Substitutions brought to you by Papa John's. Pasher behind the defense, clips it across. Just a bit too far out front of Pino, who goes to collect. Still work to do defensively for Charleston. Moses Mensah gets his first touch. Birmingham starting to attack with a bit more intensity now. McCartney working with Mensah, cut out by Segbers. And as Foster trying to switch things back across the park. Pasher brought it down, but not cleanly. Trying to fight it back from Torres. Pasher does so. Birmingham trying to keep the pressure on. The teenager Perez keeps it moving. Out wide again for Mensah. Bodies arriving in the 18. Mensah's serve dealt with by Smith. And as Foster couldn't keep it under control.
Good awareness from Torres and from Malloy to kind of slow this game down a little bit. They had an opportunity to potentially counter, but a few minutes after scoring a goal, you've seen Legion FC come out with a little bit of an extra chip on their shoulder to try and get one back. Very, very smart to just kind of keep possession, do the simple things, keep the ball, don't let things get out of control, and kind of take the wind out of the sails in this game for a few more minutes.
Segbers lobs it down the line, won't get to Marcanic, won't matter, he was offside, so it'll be a Birmingham free kick. Birmingham fans, the Legion are back here at Protective Stadium June 9th to make sure you're ready and outfitted for that next home match. Check out new gear now at bhmlegion.shop to get ready for that contest as Tyler Pasher is clipped by Malloy, and this will be a Birmingham free kick well within shooting range. Maybe 27, 28 yards away. An opportunity here for the Legion. Another look at the foul.
Legion FC are prepping another change. Prosper Kasim is coming on. Be interesting to see who he comes on for.
Meanwhile, this free kick you think would be Tyler Pasher all the way. Free kick brought to you by Birmingham Freightliner.
Yeah, you got to have a right footer and a left footer on this to kind of make the goalkeeper set his ball out a little bit different, maybe 1 or 2 steps to the right or the left. And then at this point, you have to make sure you put it on target.
Martinez went under the wall. Grenwis dealt with it cleanly.
Yeah, it looks like he slipped as he hit that. and it went straight to Grinwis, fortunately for them. But Legion FC certainly saw something on a scouting report if Enzo was trying to play that ball underneath the wall.
Couple of big stops tonight for Adam Grinwis, who's looking for his league-leading 6th clean sheet this evening. Marcanic able to win that against Mensa. Gets it to the feet of Myers, just trying to get it back to him, but to no avail. Pino, first touch, couldn't quite find Martinez. Birmingham able to restart play again. Hernandez Foster taken off it by Malloy. Torres trying to hold it up in traffic, and a bit of a stiff arm there from Torres is going to lead to a Birmingham free kick. And after it got kicked away, I think that's going to be a yellow card shown for time wasting there to Aaron Malloy.
And rightfully so. Referees have been very clear about if you kick the ball away and stop the game from getting restarted, you can certainly be carded for that. And that was exactly what Legion FC were trying to do, trying to get back on the ball, get the game moving again. Malloy goes and just kind of gives it a cheeky little kick away and slows the game down and kills the opportunity.
So yellow card brought to you by Rubio Law Firm is the second of the night. One shown to either side to this point. 70th minute here at Protective Stadium in Birmingham. Moses Mensah quite keep possession in a crowd. Birmingham have made 2 changes so far in this second half. Charleston have not changed anything to this point. Trying to close out yet another win, the early part of this 2024 campaign. Goal scorer Ikaza. Santos goes back to the feet of his center back. Plenty of possession here for Charleston, trying to take the air out of another 3-point performance. Ikaza unable to turn with it. Marcanic had his pass intercepted. Birmingham trying to get something restarted again. How much do the Legion have left in the tank here tonight as they chase an equalizer with less than 20 minutes to play? Already took out one of the Eastern Conference contenders in Tampa Bay and St. Petersburg last weekend. Trying to make it 2 in a short stretch here tonight, but Charleston have their noses in front for now and are looking for more. Torres, a shot into the side netting. And now Birmingham will make not 1 but 2 changes. Substitutions brought to you by Papa John's. Birmingham fans, you can use code LEGION for 25% off your regular menu price online order at papajohns.com. Is Tabor Itaka Preston coming on for Stefano Pino. So some fresh legs up top for the Legion. Meanwhile, Prosper Kasim will come on as well, replacing Tyler Pasher.
Interesting change to bring Pasher off. I may have elected to bring McCartney off, but Prosper seems certainly a guy who can score goals, and then Tabor Itaka is certainly a player who can unlock defenses with his pace and behind. So it'd be interesting to see how Legion FC adjusted their tactics slightly in order to bring this game to 1-1.
Kasim, of course, brings plenty of danger. A guy who played all 120 minutes. The Open Cup match against Tampa Bay back on Wednesday. He played just 5 on the weekend, so he should be fairly fresh. Tabor Itaka, meanwhile, played about a half hour on Saturday. So he'll get a little less than 20 minutes here tonight as Birmingham Legion have a free kick coming. Another look here at the contact, and that doesn't feel great. High boot there from Myers. Itaka getting his first touches working with Marana. Can Birmingham find an equalizer before Charleston have an opportunity to put this game away? Kasim working with Mensah. Mensah an early serve. It got to Martinez. Martinez trying to bring it under control on the turn. Couldn't quite turn through all that traffic.
Great ball from Mensah, and this is a tough position to be in for for Martinez to bring that down and to get a chance on goal in such a tight space. Does a really good job. Ultimately doesn't get the chance off, but you know, Legion FC are certainly not going to go quietly tonight.
Right away, Prosper Kassim wins another Birmingham corner, just their second of the night, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Kassim will leave it for Hernandez Foster.
It's another left-footed service. The last one Pasher put in, he kind of sent it driven in on a straight line, no bend on it, but it's interesting to see what Hernandez Foster does with this one.
Another out-swinging serve to the back post. Crognale almost got free. Dos Santos goes to collect and clear it away, and took a tough challenge there from Crognale. This should be yellow, and it is.
Yeah, there will be no complaints from Crognale about that one. You know, and effectively so, he kind of killed the counterattack just before, because there was 2 or 3 Charleston players up the field to the 1 or 2 Legion FC defenders that were back in that moment.
So yellow card brought to you by Rubio Law Firm, the second shown to a member of Birmingham Legion here tonight. Dos Santos a little slow to get up after this crunching challenge from the 6'5" Crognale. So Crognale on a yellow the rest of the way here tonight. Birmingham fans, by the way, Birmingham Legion back on the road next Saturday, taking on Sacramento Republic. Game at 9 o'clock Central Time. You can watch the match live on ESPN Plus or locally in Birmingham on My 68. Birmingham returns to Protective Stadium on Sunday, June 9th against Indy 11. The game kicks off at 6 o'clock local time. Get your tickets to the match today at bhmlegion.com/tickets, or you can watch locally on My 68 or across the country on ESPN Plus. Good touch there. Hernandez Foster, McCartney, and the Legion are off and running. Kassim has options. One of them an overlap from Mensah. Kassim uses the overlap. Mensah's serve too far over the top. Time working against the home side right now with less than a quarter hour to play. So far the difference tonight, a second half goal from Emilio Icaza. Mark Segber is officially credited with his second assist here in 2024.
And something for Legion FC fans, they have not won a match in which they've conceded, their last 3 matches in which they've conceded first. So they've come back to get points as they did against Tulsa the last time they were at home, but they have not gotten a win in their last 3 chances where they've conceded first.
See if they can change that tonight. They need not 1 but 2 here in the late going. That's exactly what Ben Pierman's squad did to Birmingham. Last time these two teams met in this stadium, Birmingham had a 1-0 lead with about 10 minutes to go. Tristan Traeger scored to knot it at ones, and Derek Dodson found the back of the net in stoppage time. Charleston Battery stole all 3 points back in the 2023 season. Kaza in a tight space. Perez got a touch as well. Touch by Allen, allowing Charleston Battery possession back, but Tabor Itaka putting the pressure on Dos Santos, took it off him. Here comes Tabor Itaka on the run, serves it across. Leland Archer clears it away from trouble. It'll be the 4th Chick-fil-A corner kick of the night for the Legion.
Yeah, great effort from Tabor Itaka there. We talked about his pace. Once he had that ball and pushed it out in front of Dos Santos, he was not going to catch him, and so it was a matter of getting a good crossing. He did. Archer did a fantastic job of dealing with that. Gave away a corner. Another chance for Legion FC. This would open an in-swinger from Hernandez Foster.
Prosper Kassim coming over to provide Hernandez Foster a short option. Swinging serve, dealt with again, Leland Archer. The longest tenured member of the Battery. Approaching 150 appearances with Charleston across all competitions. A couple of key interventions there. Birmingham reset their shape. Charleston prepping not one but two changes. Their first two substitutions of the night here at the next stoppage. First things first, they've got some defending to do. It's against Segbers on that flank again. Kasim in a half space. Kasim touches around one man. Kasim had to be touched away by Grinwis.
Fantastic work from Kasim on the dribble to get through and then get the chance in the first place. What a fantastic effort from him. And then Grinwis equal to the shot that he presented. But another opportunity for Legion FC. They are really starting to knock on the door of Charleston. And so you see a couple of changes coming through with LaCava and with Rodriguez coming on. Be interested to see how they're able to impact the game in the last 10 to 15 minutes.
Substitutions brought to you by Papa John's. The goal scorer Emilio Icaza makes way for Arturo Rodriguez. 25-year-old making his first appearance here in quite a few weeks. An encouraging sign for the battery. Arana in that deep corner trying to win a corner and does. The other change, as you said, Jake LaCava on for MD Myers. This has kind of been the role for LaCava so far this year. 9th time he's come off the bench, providing some late pace. Corner kick brought to you by Chick-fil-A for the Legion. Again, it's Kobe Hernandez-Foster.
The last service he had was really, really good. He dropped it about 4 or 5 yards away from the goal, whipped it in with good pace, flatlined it. Legion FC just didn't get on the end of it. A service like that could get another good opportunity to score.
This one shielded away by Smith, who collided with Grinwis. Regardless, it was cleared away from danger for the moment. Birmingham still have the big bodies forward. Who serves it? It's going to be Martinez near the penalty spot. Grinwis way off his line to come get it. Still defending to do. Kasim back into the mix. Headed away by Archer.
He came a long way. He kind of read that for a hot minute off Enzo Martinez's foot, and came and made the punch, but danger's not cleared yet, and now they're off the other way.
Kavita's shot blocked. Here comes Arturo Rodriguez, clipped and fouled. Free kick given to Charleston.
That's a great thing to look at. That will never make a highlight reel, but what Rodriguez does in that moment is he gives his team the opportunity to breathe, reset themselves. That is fantastic number 10 play or center forward play to do that, basically relieve the pressure.
Birmingham used their 5th change of the night. Again, substitution brought to you by Papa John's. Birmingham fans use code LEGION for 25% off your regular menu price online order at papajohns.com. That's the 22-year-old Diba Nwekbo, coming off the bench for the 4th time this year, his 9th appearance USL Championship play. He is on for Dawson McCartney, who had a great night tonight.
He did, and I think that's a good change for Legion FC. I think Diba Nwekbo can beat players on the dribble. He can score. He can create for his teammates. Like to see him come into this game. I think he's going to have an opportunity to make a big impact.
Rodriguez almost touched it around Cronali. Good defending by Mensah to get in front of Markanek. Markanek wanted a foul, not going to get one. Final 9 minutes plus stoppage time tonight. Prosper Kasim and the Legion looking for something here. What a ball that is from Kasim. Tabor Itaka onto it. Against Dos Santos, Tabor Itaka cut out. Dos Santos had him red, but another Chick-fil-A corner coming here for the home side.
Yeah, that's a very, very good ball from Prosper Kasim to open up Tabor Itaka, give him the opportunity to get forward. If I'm Legion FC, I don't change what I'm doing on my services here. Grinwis is starting to get a little more brave. He's come to punch the last corner, and then the service from Enzo Martinez an open play, but same type of thing. Low driven, whipped in ball, lots of pace. Give Kavita, give your big guys an opportunity to get up and get ahead on the end of it.
Perez tried to flick it on at the front post, but couldn't. It's cleared away only as far as Kasim. Big body staying forward for the Legion. Kasim back into the mix. Falls kindly for Tabor Itaka, who didn't quite catch it as clean as he would have liked. Still forced to save from Grinwis. Third minute now here in Birmingham, fans. Just a reminder, eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball free to play, so download it now. G. Marana calling for the foul there. Free kick given to Charleston. Every whistle here allows Charleston to bleed just a little bit more clock late.
And exactly what Legion FC were doing kind of in the first half, kind of taking the wind out of the game, out of the sails, and not giving Charleston an opportunity to kind of get into a rhythm. They've kind of done the same thing late in this game and are trying to kind of kill the game, take the wind out of the sails, and see this off and go get their 6th win after scoring first. They have not lost a game this season, but they've only drawn once when they've scored the first goal.
Charleston with 7 wins from their first 10 contests. The other 3 draws. 24 points collected so far for the Battery, trying to walk away with all 3 here tonight in Birmingham. Legion have created a little bit more in this second half, but to no avail to this point as Kavita was fouled. Bit of an awkward challenge there from Markanek, who to be the one who came up a bit worse for wear. Markanek a bit slow to get up. Meanwhile, the Legion attacking the other way. Nwegbo on to this one, 1v1 against Archer. Nwegbo cuts it in, and a save from Grinwis. Grinwis, another big stop, and another look at it.
Again, we talked about him coming on and being kind of a little spark and a super sub. Nwegbo's done that already this year. Comes on, creates the chance for himself. A great save from Grinwis to get down to his right and get a paw to that to keep it out, because that was going in to make it 1-1.
And before this corner kick brought to you by Chick-fil-A, Muji Morano was face-to-face with Segbers and Archer in and around the mouth of goal. Referee Jeremy Shear over to calm everybody down. Mark Segbers saying, if you're talking to me, you better talk to that guy as well.
Yeah, I think the referee's doing a good job so far tonight. He's let some things go. He's allowing players to play. This is, in all intents and purposes, this is war. This is a battle, right? You're going in. There's a lot of heated exchanges inside of a game, and he's allowed the players to kind of express that and be a part of that. Hasn't called it too tight. I think he's done a great job in talking to players and not giving cards too soon.
Grinwis, a 2-handed punch, keeps that away from trouble for the moment. Back into the mix. Smith deals with it. Taka trying to keep it down here, and does. But Segbers in the right spot. Segbers fouled, trying to start the break the other way. Didn't appreciate that from Tabor Itaka. Neither did Markanek, who came over with a bump. It's a yellow card shown to the Birmingham substitute, brought to you by Rubio Law Firm.
You see Kavita getting up there and basically running 45 yards to get to his teammate, pull him away from the situation and say, like, hey, ref, I got him. Let's get this game back going. But it was a little bit late from Tabor Itaka there. And, Charleston has a little bit of a reason to be upset and a perfect opportunity for them kind of continue to kill the game off, right?
Segbers, the veteran, back to his feet. He's been a workhorse for Charleston so far this year, a guy that's played every minute. And it looks like at least one more fresh body. Now 2 are going to check in for Ben Pierman and Charleston here in just a moment. Birmingham have made 5 changes here in the second half. Charleston just Rodriguez and LaCava, but Jackson Conway has grabbed a shirt, so has Josh Strack. Looks like they'll check in at the next stoppage of play. Martinez trying to shield that away from Archer. Couldn't shield it away from Malloy as well. And Van Oekel all the way over outside the box to come collect. Time running short here on Birmingham Legion. They've outshot Charleston 9-4 so far this evening, but find themselves on the wrong side of the scoreline for the moment. From Rodriguez. Allen as well. Markanek shielding and was fouled. And now Charleston will make that double change. First man off is Nick Markanek. He'll be replaced by Josh Strack. He comes off the bench for his 6th time this year. The 24-year-old, his first season in Charleston after starting his career LA Galaxy 2 and then Huntsville. Jackson Conway, the other man who is coming on, replacing Juan David Torres.
Yeah, I think that's a good substitution from Coach Pierman. Marcanic never really settled into this game. Neither did, MD Myers. Those guys have both come off. You get fresh legs. You have to defend this lead that you have for the last, 2-3 minutes plus stoppage time, right? And there he goes again, giving a card for delaying the game. Again, he's been consistent. I'll give the referee, I'll give sheer credit for that tonight. But Legion FC certainly want to still push forward, trying to get a result, try and get a point out of this if you can, save one. Charleston doing everything they can to hold on to all three.
The yellow card shown to Arturo Rodriguez, brought to you by Rubio Law Firm for time wasting. 89th minute here in Birmingham. Now the only question is how much stoppage time will we have to close out this match. Kassim, an early serve, dealt with by Archer, although not as cleanly as he probably would have preferred. Malloy pings it back out wide. Charleston trying to bleed this clock dry. Mensa brings it down. What a find, Kassim, and a half space.
Great first touch.
Tabor Itaka. His serve hammered away by Drac. Might have gotten an arm, but it looked like it was tucked in. And self-defense more than anything at close range there for Drac. 90th minute here in Birmingham. Nwegbo kept that under control somehow. Mensa closed down by Segbers. And as Foster back to the feet of Kassim. Nwegbo, edge of the area. Perez back out wide. Birmingham keep it moving. Rana back across the way for Mensa. Hounded there by LaCava. Birmingham pay off the patience here.
20 out of 22, 21 out of 22 players are inside of 40 yards from Charleston's goal. The only one not there is Matt Van Oekel on the other end. Legion FC certainly putting everything forward to try and get a goal, and this could be trouble for them to give a ball away like that.
Seems touch let him down. Conway holds it up. Charleston have it back on their feet, if only for a moment. 5 minutes coming to close out the night, brought to you by UAB Medicine.
Had a goal in 3 or 4 different substitution exchanges. I think we've seen, 9 substitutions in the second half. But I'm sure Tom Sohn and his staff would have liked to see more than 5 minutes. Ben Pierman and his staff probably happy that it's only 5.
Renwis taking his time, putting it back in play here. Perez able to bring it down. His pass cut out by Malloy. Header there from Drac. First man to it's going to be Arturo Rodriguez. Does he go for goal? Does he go to the corner? Rodriguez wanted to go for a goal, and Cavita was having none of that. Dos Santos goes to ground here. Looks like he might be dealing with some late game cramps.
Interesting, he went down right at the start of this 92nd minute. Certainly managing this well for Charleston. You see players do this all the time. Once you get into stoppage time, you're leaving it up to the referee to make the decision and call it after 5 minutes. But for Legion FC, you're screaming and yelling, hey, we need more. Like, he just wasted a minute off the clock there. So
foul conceded there by Rodriguez. Free kick given to the Legion. For Charleston, this has been a familiar spot for them so far this year. They've trailed in just 2% of the minutes they have played here in USL Championship play. They have played from ahead or level all season long, trying to see out their 8th win in their 11th USL Championship match tonight. 2 minutes through our minimum of 5 minutes of added time.
We talked about beginning of the game, what were going to be the keys to victory for each side or to get a result. And Legion FC, it was be clinical. You have to finish the chances that you have. And you look at Pino, who had a chance. Martinez had a chance. Pasher had a chance. Nwegbo forced a good save out of Grinwis. And from Charleston's side, be you, right? Do what you do. They got their goal. They've kind of sat in. They've kept a good clean sheet and been organized thus far once going up. For them, it was about weathering the storms. And they've done a good job of that thus far tonight. And only a couple more minutes left to see this out and walk away with 3 points. But, it's been a good performance, I think, from both teams in a pretty even match. I think a draw would be just, but that's not always the way it works out.
5 big saves from Adam Grinwis tonight have helped keep this clean sheet for Charleston. Might have to make another big stop here late as Birmingham continue to throw numbers forward. Martinez under duress, just able to keep it away from Rodriguez, but only for a moment. And Arturo Rodriguez wins a Charleston free kick.
A really good job from the Mexican there, the 25-year-old, to, again, draw another foul. He did it right after he came on. It relieved a lot of pressure for Charleston, took a lot of wind out of the sails. I've said that phrase a lot tonight, but Charleston has done a very, very good job of killing off this game.
So a free kick here for the Battery, who still haven't put it back in play yet. Grinwis organizing his team just so before sending it away. 95th minute here in Birmingham at Van Oekel Easy Collection. Birmingham likely have time for maybe one more attacking opportunity. While Charleston have a potential 5th change awaiting. We'll see if they get the opportunity to do that. As Kasim gets it out wide, working with Mensah on that side of the park. Kasim has a bit of space. Malloy coming to close it down. The cutback cut out by Allen. Only as far away as Mensah. Alex Cronali, the other Birmingham center back forward. He wants a serve from Martinez. Cronali does flick it on, but just off the frame of goal. Now Charleston will make that last change they have at their disposal. It's Robbie Crawford, who is coming on for his 98th appearance as a member of Charleston Battery. He replaces Chris Allen. Substitution again brought to you by Papa John's. Long-standing member of Charleston Battery, Robbie Crawford, on here at the very last. We've entered the 96th minute. How much more time do we have left, if any?
Yeah, in our pregame conversation with Coach Pierman, he talked about Robbie Crawford is maybe one of the most interesting guys to be around. We asked if you could spend a little extra time with just one of your guys. He had a hard time narrowing it down, but ultimately settled on Robbie Crawford. He said the more he gets to know him, he enjoys being around him. He's very competitive, but said he would kick his grandmother if it meant he could win a game. But he said he gets smarter around Crawford, and it challenges him to be a better coach.
Kasim whips it in. Perez almost got to the end of it. Tabor Itaka, a lot of contact in and around the mouth of goal. And the referee blows for a foul and a free kick for Charleston. Grin was down. Tabor Itaka down. Dos Santos down as well. Chaos here in the very last moments. Grinwis has had to be brave multiple times tonight. This was a car crash in and around the 6-yard box.
Great ball from Kasim.
Looks like Tabor Itaka does get a little piece of the ball here, but it's anybody's ball there. He and Grinwis going full out for it here in the final moments of the match.
Yeah, and you could argue from Legion FC's perspective, right? You've got Perez, who goes up, wins the header, heads it down, right? And then Dos Santos comes and just trucks it. And that ball is live. That's certainly a foul in another part of the field. But in that situation, Grinwis is incredibly brave, comes out, and gets to that ball before Tabor Ataka does. And I don't think there was any malintent from Tabor Ataka to try and actually kick Grenwis or do damage to him. He was just trying to score the goal as any striker would in this situation. Again, I don't think that this is something that you look at and you say that's dirty by any stretch of the imagination. If anything, I might say that, Charleston might be lucky to have gotten away with, a non-foul call on Dos Santos after he absolutely trucked Perez in that situation.
Dano Kuzimka getting loose, the 24-year-old from Clifton, Virginia. Got the start in the Open Cup match against Tormenta. Adam Grenwis continues to get some medical attention here. A lot of blood coming from the nose of Adam Grenwis right now that Charleston's trying to get stopped.
They'll likely take a substitution here and bring on their goalkeeper, I believe, for a concussion sub if they're allowed it in this moment, because that's certainly something that's not going to stop bleeding anytime soon.
It does look like Grenwis is making his way over to the Charleston bench. And a big performance tonight for the 32-year-old.
Yeah, he's been very, very good tonight. He's been very brave in more instances than just in that. I think he's done a fantastic job. I think you could argue he might have a good case for man of the match tonight. I think he's certainly earned the 6th clean sheet of the year, if that's how this ends.
So Charleston are going to use that concussion change. Grenwis leaves the contest with a head injury, and hopefully it's nothing more serious than the bloody nose. Kuzemka on, the 24-year-old who split his college soccer between Clemson and Charlotte. And now the question becomes, is there any time left after this ball gets sent away?
Yeah, off camera I saw Enzo Martinez talking to the referee. He kind of signaled over the bench that we have 1 or 2 minutes left to play. So, there could be one more chance left in this.
So into the 100th minute now for the injury stoppage. Dano Kuzemka, his first touch of the ball tonight. Jeremy Shear finally gives the whistle. Kuzemka to send it away. Perez heads it forward. Nwegbo flicks it on. Martinez couldn't quite get there in front of Dos Santos. Nwegbo, though, wins it back for the Legion, but only for a moment. That is full time. Charleston, another 3-point performance. Their unbeaten streak survives. 1-0 to the Battery tonight in Birmingham.
I think that is a fantastic result for Charleston. They, after they got the goal, they were under pressure for the final third of that game, really. They did a great job of, again, weathering storms, keeping Legion FC out, only giving them really half chances, if you will. And Legion FC didn't take the big chances that they had tonight to score.
1-0 Charleston, our final here at Protective Stadium. 27 points now for the Battery from their first 11 matches. And a gritty road performance tonight gives them all 3 points against the Legion. We'll take a timeout. More from our coverage here in Birmingham when we return.
What's up, everybody? I'm Deontay. A little thing I love about Chick-fil-A's Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is the flavor it provides. It's seasoned to perfection. It's juicy every time. The pepper jack, it melts on top, and it gives it that little kick. Along with the zest from the chicken, it's memorable when you bite into it. Just thinking about how it's stacked up, that's what I look forward to every time. This Spicy Deluxe is fire.
Real customer paid for their testimonial.
And those that see the perfect wave.
Back here in Birmingham, Alabama, another road victory for Charleston Battery. Their win streak across all competitions now extends to 7 consecutive matches. The best team in the Eastern Conference comes away with another result here tonight. 1-0 our final, Charleston over Birmingham Legion. And Morgan, Charleston weren't the more dangerous team for a large chunk of the night. They absorbed a lot of pressure, especially in that second half. But credit to Charleston, they found a way to get it done tonight.
Certainly, and great organization from them, Grinwis and the rest of the defense to earn that clean sheet, and they certainly had to earn it tonight.
A third clean sheet in as many games for Charleston. Adam Grinwis left bloodied, but leaves, helping Charleston to get another 0 put up in the opposition score sheet. 1-0 Charleston, the victory this evening. That's now 27 points for Charleston through their first 11 games. 6 points clear of Lou City at the top of the Eastern Conference, although Lou City with games in hand. And now a big one coming up for Charleston in the U.S. Open Cup. They host Atlanta United.
They do, and that's a big game for them. And then they'll turn around and they'll host El Paso and then travel out to the West Coast. So a big 3 games for them coming up. Certainly Atlanta United is going to be a fun one for those in Charleston.
Meanwhile, for Birmingham Legion, you knew tonight was going to be a tough task. A busy stretch here this tonight, their 4th game in 12 days. They finally get a breather this weekend. But Morgan, a couple of trips out west upcoming for Birmingham against Sacramento and El Paso.
Certainly, and those are not easy trips either. Going to Sacramento, which is as far west as you can get, and then turning around and going straight back to El Paso the following week.
The top of the table is Sacramento Republic. Out west, the bottom of the table is El Paso. Birmingham will try to get back on track coming up here in about 10 days or so. An even match for most of the night tonight. A fun one to take in on CBS Sports Golazo. But in the end, Birmingham Legion come up just a little bit short. Charleston Battery take out the Legion for the 4th consecutive time, pick up just their 2nd ever win in Birmingham against the Legion. And Ben Pierman's club just continues to find ways to get it done. Home or road, it hasn't seemed to matter for the Battery. They keep marching on, and they come away with another 3 points here tonight in the Magic City. That'll do it for our coverage of the USL Championship tonight here on CBS Sports Golazo and My 68 from Protective Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama. It was gritty. It was fun. Both sides had their moments. In the end, Charleston took advantage of theirs. Emilio Icaza missed the first time around. He did not miss a second. His strike in the second half, the difference between these two Eastern Conference foes tonight. 1-0 to Charleston this evening. For Morgan Copes and our entire crew here in Birmingham, I'm Blake Gardner saying thanks for watching our coverage of the USL Championship, and we'll talk to you next time for another edition of USL Championship Soccer.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.